Hello friends, welcome to my channel The Right Direction. Now I am going to teach about the topic Stay Hungry, Stay Foolish by Steve Jobs. Today is the last unit. That means from the very beginning we know that he had taught or delivered the lecture in Stanford University about three aspects and what it is. This third unit deals about the third story which is relates to death. That means everything is false, but death is true. No one can avoid death. What is death to the author? When I was telling when I was 17, I read a quote what that want something like if you live each day as if it was your last, every day is your last date. That means it is difficult on the part of you can tell which is your starting, which is your beginning. Last somebody you will must certainly be right. It made an impression on me, and since then for the last 30 years. That means from the very outset, you know that he was suffering from cancer, in which was incurable. Maybe it might be an impression. Okay, I have looked in the mirror every morning and asked myself if today were the last day of my life, would I want to do with what I am about to do today? And whenever the answer has been no for too many days in a row, I no need to change the something. That means if you know that today is the last day, today, that means you will give your effort. You want to do something or certain things for the benefit of yourself. ତମେ ଯଦି ଜାଣିବ ଆଜି ଦିନଟା ହେଉଛି ତମର ଶେଷ ଦିନ, ତମେ ତା ପାଇଁ ସବୁବେଳେ ପ୍ରସ୍ତୁତ ରହିବା ପାଇଁ ଚେଷ୍ଟା କରିବ. So remembering that I shall be dead soon in the most important tool I have ever encountered to help me make my choices of life, big choices in life. Suppose if your goal, if your aim, if your objective is not fulfilled, ଯଦି ତମର ଆଶା ଅଭିଳାଷ କିଛି ପୂର୍ଣ୍ଣ ହେଇପାରିଲାନି, now you are going to die. That means you may be coward. That's why here he's telling, because almost everything, all external exception, all pride, all fear, embarrassment of failure, these things just fall away in the face of a death. That means everything, the negative aspects always flashes on your eyes, leaving only what is truly important. That means what you live, what you have done, what you did. That means it is important on the part of you because your future generation is waiting and wanting from you. ତମକୁ ସେମାନେ ଆଶା କରିଛନ୍ତି, ତମକୁ ଭରସା କରିଛନ୍ତି. Something to lose. You are already naked. There is no reason not to follow your heart. That means here, by citing so much instances, here he tried to explain all these things in a nutshell. About years ago, I diagnosed with cancer. About years ago, from 1 year she has suffered from. I had a scan at 7:30 in the morning, and it clearly showed a tumor on my pancreas. ତାଙ୍କ pancreasରେ ଗୋଟେ tumor ହେଇଥିଲା. I did not even know what the pancreas was, because being a maker, being one type of engineer, he has no idea, or he had no idea about biology, about the limbs of the any organization of a human body. The doctors told me this was almost certainly a type of cancer that is incurable. Definitely, the doctor is telling, or it is a certain type of warning to her, my doctor, and that I should expect to live no longer than 3 to 6 months. Definitely, if a person suffered from cancer, he will live for 3 to 6 months, not more. See, ଅତି ବେଶୀରେ 3 ରୁ 6 months ପର୍ଯ୍ୟନ୍ତ ବଞ୍ଚିପାରିବ. My doctor advised me to go home. That's why if you know that your death is sure, your death is certain, what happened? Go home and get my affairs in order, which doctors code for prepare to die. That means he was ready or welcoming. That means there is an invitation of a death to him. ସତେ ଯେପରି ଡେଥର ଗୋଟେ ଇନଭାଇଟେସନ ତାଙ୍କ କତିକି ଆସିଥିଲା. It means try to tell your kids everything you thought you have the next 10 years to tell them in just a few months. That means everything, whatever undone, that to be done. जहाँ तुम कर बहुत समय थी, you will do immediately with twinkle of an eye. As far as possible, you can do more and more things. जहाँ तुम करवा कथा करि पारे. It means to make sure everything is buttoned up so that you will be easy as possible for your family. It means so yes, to say your goodbye. That means you can do everything, or you can perform everything. You have completed everything for the future generation. I lived with a diagnosis of old age. That means every day, because he will live for 3 to 6 months. Later that evening, I had a biopsy, autopsy, euthanasia. These are the tests when it is found that what kind of disease you have. Where they stuck an endoscope down my throat, they are making an endoscope. It is a kind of camera is fixed, and it gives a picture through my stomach into my intestines. But a needle went into my pancreas got a few cells from the tumor. Se gote chunchira jemti ampudila sadircho kichi cell neikina ase. I was sedated, but my wife was there, told me that when they viewed the cells under a microscope, when they viewed the cells under a microscope, the doctor started crying because it turned out a very rare form of a pancreatic cancer that is curable with surgery. That means now they were sure that he will recover from danger or recover from that kind of disease. I had a surgery and I am fine now. Now I hear as the doctor is predicting, जेहेतु डॉक्टर प्रेडिक्ट कले जे किसी सर्जरी हवा द्वारा सी तांकर सब किछि फेरी पाइबे. This was the closest I have been to facing death, and I hope it is the closest I get for few more decades. Having lived through it, I can now say this is to you with a bit more certainty than when the death was a useful but purely intellectual concept. That means to the author, it is, if it happens to you, it is also an intellectual concept, because if there is beginning, there must be ending. If there is life, there must be death. No one can avoid this. Because we know from Oriya one term is that Mohi Mandala Deha Devota Helevi Moral. So no one can avoid this. So that's why be positive, try to face it. No one wants to die. Even people who wants to go to heaven do not want to die to get there. Everybody, if you are coming to this earth, we want to do something, we live more and more. And yet death is a destination we all say that no one has ever escaped it. Because from one of the poetry written by John Donne, death be not proud, no one can escape from death. Even king, even the president of America, the most powerful person, he cannot also avoid death. It is sure, it is certain, it must happen in one day. And yet death is a destination no one has ever escaped, and that is as it should be, because death is very likely the single best invention of life. That is one of the best invention of life. It is life change agent. It clears out the old to make way for the new. That means definitely as we know that retirement, that is also like this. That means when you left, then another will replace your place. And it clears out the old to make for the new. Right now, the new is you, but somebody not too long from now. You will gradually become the old and cleared away. Sorry to be so dramatic, but it is quite true. It has prakruta satyavate. So your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life. So whatever you want to do it properly, perfectly, steadily, quickly. Don't be trapped by dogma, which is living with the results of other people's thinking. Not to wait. You will do. Don't let the noise others' opinion drown out your own inner voice. And most important, have the courage to follow your heart in intuition. They somehow already know what you truly want to become. Everything is secondary. According to him, everything is secondary, but your work is primary. You can do it properly. When I was young, there was an amazing publication called The Whole Earth Catalog, which was one of the Bibles of my generation. By reading this, he was so much influenced with the writing. It was created by a fellow named Stuart Brand. This topic, this thing has been written by Stuart Brand, one of the best writer. It was created by a fellow named Stuart Brand, not far from here in Menlo Park, and he brought it to life with his poetic touch. He brought it to life with poetic touch. For instance, we are also reading the horoscope, the foretelling, what will happen in future. This was in the late 1960s before personal computer and desktop publishing. So it was all made with a typewriter, scissors and Polaroid cameras during that time. But now everything comes so fast, so steady, because we are living in the 21st century, which is technically advanced, mechanically progressed. Everything is amazing, interesting. It was sort of like a Google paper back from 35 years before Google come along. It was idealistic and overflowing with neat tools of great notions. Stewart and his team put out several issues of the Whole Earth Catalog, and then when it had run its course, they put out a final issue. They decided to put out a final. It was the mid 1970s, and in your age, in this age, on the back cover of the final issue was a photograph of an early morning country road. On the final early morning country road, what it shows you don't know. Early morning country road ଗୋଟେ photograph ଥିଲା. The kind of a might find yourself hitching of you were so adventurous. Beneath it were the words. Beneath it, under it, what it was written? Stay hungry, stay foolish. It was their farewell message, and they signed of stay hungry, stay foolish. And I have always wished for that message. That means he was so much influenced with that message. That message is stay hungry, stay foolish. And now, as you graduate to begin a new, I wish that for you, stay hungry, stay foolish. Thank you, all of you. That means in this way, he wanted to give a message to the society that death will come, but before death, you will do certain things in which way you may be immortal. The people will know you. Though Steve Jobs is not live today, he is now not within us, but we think he is immortal because of his contribution, because of his work. So please, thank you all of you. Please share, subscribe my channel, The Right Direction, so that I can upload more and more videos for the development, benefit and future perspective of your career. Thank you.